Number 18 Baylor women's basketball lost to unranked BYU 78-66. And what's crazy is BYU was 2-8 in the conference and 12-11 prior to this game here, and Baylor was 6-4 in the conference and 17-4 going into this game, and Baylor drops down to 6-5. And this is one of those another bad loss type of deals, just like that Kansas game when there's all this craziness of free falling has gone. I'm just telling the truth. And Baylor was even favored to win this game by 12.5 or even as low as 11.5. I just don't get this team, and I'm going to address that straight up after I go over the numbers here. Points on turnovers favored Baylor in this game 21-9. They won that, but fast break points 7-4 in favor of BYU. Points in the paint favored BYU 38-24. Yeah, they don't have an answer for that big down low for BYU. And Lauren Gustin, 23 points, 16 rebounds by herself. Well, Baylor did have 3 plus 15, that's 18, plus 10, that's 28 bench points, which is not a bad number, though. It could be more, because Bella could have been better tonight, to say the least. She didn't shoot the ball good. And the team did not shoot the ball good. 34.8% from the field on 66 attempts, 32.1% on threes on 28 attempts, 68.8% on free throws on 16 attempts, 32 rebounds, 9 of those offensive, 18 assists, 7 steals, 1 block, 11 turnovers, 19 fouls, and 3 double-digit scores that combine for 17 plus 15, that's 32, plus 10, that's 42. And Dre Edwards did not show up when you look at the numbers. And the same thing goes for Jada Walker. She's been off, and every time Sarah Andrews has a bad game, she's below 20%, Baylor loses. It's just the numbers and the analytics here. And Baylor was down 35-21 at halftime. Second half, Baylor picked it up offensively, scored 45 points. But it's too much to overcome because their defense didn't do enough. They allowed 43. More than the first half. And BYU had 19 points off the bench and 4 double-digit scores that combined for 14 plus 14 plus 14, that's 42, plus 23, that's 65 points, and it's not including one other player with 6 or more points in this game that combined that had 6. And by the way, Baylor did have one other player with 6 or more points with 8, but either way, they didn't do enough offensively, and especially in that first half. Second half, they did better. It's just you've got to be better than that on offense from the jump, and so you don't get down too much too early. And BYU shot the ball too good, 52.6% from the field on 57 attempts, 40% on threes on 20 attempts, 76.9% on free throws on 13 attempts, 45 rebounds, 7 of those offensive, 20 assists, 6 steals, 2 blocks, 19 turnovers, 16 fouls. And every time Baylor cut down the lead in the second half to 9 points, BYU answered. I'm going to have to go over the schedule for the next 5 games for both of these teams. And the only way BYU is going to even make the NCAA tournament is to win a conference tournament. They have to go on the road to Cincinnati, then on the road to UCF, then they got Kansas at home, and you got TCU at home, which TCU is free falling themselves. Let's just be clear. They're not the same team as the 14-0 team. It's kind of like Baylor in a way after they lost to Kansas unexpectedly. And then Iowa State on the road. Now, Baylor, on the other hand, supposedly their schedule should have been a win tonight when you look at the teams who they play. It's just, I think the altitude affected them as well. I really do, and they seem tired tonight for whatever reason. Something's up with that team right now. I'm telling you. The next 5 games, they got West Virginia, that's number 22 in the nation, at home. You got Oklahoma, who might be ranked next week, and I expect Baylor to drop out of the rankings because of this loss, unless they beat West Virginia. Even if they beat West Virginia, I don't know if it's enough to keep them, because it's the truth right here. Then they got Texas Tech at home, they got Kansas at home, there's a chance for a rematch, and then West Virginia on the road. That's next 5 games right there. It's not including the last 2 games of the regular season. And I think with this loss tonight, potentially Baylor does not become a host site. That's how damaging this loss is. I'm just telling the truth. Unless they somehow use this game as a wake-up call to the whole team going forward and win every game in the regular season. It's not including the the conference tournament, and they need to find a way to at least get a bot. They really needed to win this game to stay afloat with, even though they lost to Iowa State, just to be close to Iowa State. Because it's more likely than not that Iowa State's going to finish lower. And you get closer to Texas. I don't know if Texas is going to even lose twice down the stretch. Because at TCU, at Houston, they shouldn't lose those games. They could lose at Oklahoma. Granted, they could. Maybe they lose somebody besides Oklahoma on the road, but I don't know about a top 4 seed in the Big 12 tournament either after this game. Maybe Fifth is their best option here. And they need to beat West Virginia now. They need to beat Texas Tech. They need to get revenge against Kansas. They need to beat Cincinnati on the road. Which they better use this game as motivation and a wake-up call going forward. And I just don't understand this team. Great start, but then they've been figured out. And they can't shoot the ball from 3 anymore like they used to. I'm just telling you right now. And shot selection has to be better. What's crazy is the turnovers were not the problem. It was not the problem at all. Though BYU did score off those turnovers. I know they did. They just didn't have an answer in the paint tonight. Simple. And we just didn't have enough players step up offensively. That's another deal too. Yeah, they only had 11 turnovers, which the goal for Nikki Collins is 12 turnovers or less. They did that tonight. Ironically. When they turned over the ball 26 times against Houston. And they still won. They didn't shoot good in this game. They couldn't defend. And maybe they need to work on the mid-range shots and get some more rest to get out of this. It's back-to-back road games, and that could have been a factor as well. And going from Houston to BYU with altitude especially, I just don't understand this team. And they need to find a way to bounce back from this game. And I expect them to be extra motivated in going into that West Virginia game. And we need to play ticked off. And I'll do a preview of that game tomorrow, by the way. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 600 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 more. So I make money off this. Of course, liking the video, comment video really helps YouTube algorithm so more people can see it. Sharing the videos helps as well so more people can watch. And if you're watching and not subscribed, hit subscribe button. It's free, the notification bell as well. And there's gonna have to probably be some changes on the off season. I don't know. I don't think it's head coach. Oh no. I think it's gonna have to be something get more size. And I know Madison Bartley has missed some time, and we need her back because Letty Vasconcelos is not ready. And the potential, and I'll have to just go down the line here on the potential comebacks. Sarah Andrews probably might want to come back after this season here. I'm just telling the truth. Get her back. Jada Walker, Yaya Felder.
I mean, you got the guard play, and I'm not worried about that. We just got to shoot the ball better and take care of the ball. And we do. We had a lot of new faces this year. I mean, with the exception to Sarah Andrews, nobody else has stuck around with the program more than 2 years. And I know they're very, very disappointed on how this stretch is gone. But they have to wake up and fight back. I'm just saying that much.